Welcome to Pandora's Awareness Podcast, a place where we collect stories and circulate life-changing wisdom. And today is Friday. It is Victory Day. And we have two incredible guests today to join us to talk about victory. So I'm your host, Asher, and our co-host today is Queen Lav. Both our guests are in the European side of the house, so they are in the future, so to speak, because I'm on the East Coast right now. Lav is on the East Coast too, but you guys, we get to talk to the future. And we're going to start off with Amanda, if you don't mind sharing with us a little bit about you, what you specialize in, how you add value to the world, and who you being a hero to. We go into Andrea after that.
Hello, and thank you for having me, Asher and Queen Lav. So, my name is Amanda Wakefield, and I'm a resilience life coach. And I help women who are intuitively feeling their way through the aftermath of a toxic relationship.
Wow.
So, having been in a couple of toxic relationships myself and recovering from that and recovered, it's been many years now, over 15 years ago. I found my passion and my drive to help other women through such difficulties as well.
Mm, you got that radio voice too. Yeah, we're gonna
Very
work with that.
empowering. Very empowering. And you work with them after they get out of the relationship, or you
Yeah,
kind of start when they're in the relationship?
yeah, yeah. Most ladies, once they've come out of the relationship, they discover that they've had multiple traumas that have allowed them to be in such a relationship. Quite often, healthy people don't walk into such a relationship. They see the red flags beforehand. But if
Mm,
you have had trauma beforehand, which you may not have reconciled with, quite often you walk into it and you are manipulated and don't know how to get out of it. And once you're out of it, you start to awaken and you don't want to repeat that pattern again.
perfect. And Andrea, how about you, my friend?
So no, after Amanda, I'm just like,
Oh, darling.
uh, I actually, yeah, I actually do something a lot, I think easier. I help people plan their vacations, especially 9 to 5ers, because it's not easy working 9 to 5 and having a family and planning vacations and going on vacation. So I help people do that, and it's just my calling. It all started because my friends and my family started to ask me to plan their vacations. So I said, okay, let's just plan everybody else's vacation and see how it goes.
You was
Wow,
you
that's
was
awesome.
hustling the family. Oh my God, that's awesome.
It's
And
awesome. So go ahead, Amanda.
I was going to ask, do you specialize in types of vacations or locations of vacations?
Um, so I was really fortunate to just travel for all my life. So I've been in a lot of places. So no, I'm not specialized because probably I've been in a lot of chat. I have a lot of information about the places where I've been. So I'm not specialized. Um, I prefer, I think, Europe because I think it's easier for me. Maybe, I don't know, some cities I've been more than multiple times, and I've lived in Rome, I live in Milan, so obviously it's like really easy for me. But I've planned like a travel trip, a travel with for a family of four with a camper from Milan to Amsterdam, and that's something I never done before, but it was really fun. And there's one I've been in New York, and that's one girl that she needed help planning her 5 days in New York. I just did that. So yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of just hearing you. I was thinking about me. If I would plan somebody's trip, I would feel very stressed. Like I don't know exactly what they like. So how do you learn about your client to nail the itinerary and help them see what they like?
I'm a curious person, like just my how who I am. And I actually ask a lot of questions. Just we usually have a chat, about 1 hour chat, and they explain me everything. I ask them. I think the most important thing of the vacation is like the most important for me. The question that's more important is like why. So why do you want to go on vacation? So I want to connect with my family. I want to have fun. I want something, I don't know. I want to have a weekend trip with my girlfriend. So like, and that's the real thing that just sparkles of my imagination, and just to try to prepare something really special for them.
Mm.
That's the first step.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Andrea. We're gonna get into your specialty in a few, but right now today's theme is all about victories. We are going to talk about what we get to celebrate on this Friday's victories. So we're gonna start off with Amanda, if you don't mind sharing something that you want to celebrate with us today, a victory that happens in your life, either recently or a long time ago you want to share.
My biggest achievement, and hear me out, it was back in 2007. I was recovering from my first bout of cancer, and I decided to file for a divorce at the same time. And in 2008, I walked out of hospital and walked out of the house. That's
Wow.
my biggest achievement.
Wow.
Cancer and divorce at the same time?
Wow.
I literally walked out of hospital, got the train home with my tubes in me and one of my daughters with me, and walked out of the house.
Mm.
Yes.
Wow. Congratulations for the strength that one needs to go through something like that.
So that was my biggest achievement, and my daughter held me with me, and that was that was in August 2008, and has been part of my journey. But it was definitely the catalyst in my healing journey.
And what direction did that take you into for you to celebrate today?
Realizing how much courage I actually do have. I didn't realize it at the time. It was more self-preservation, but when you reflect back on it, you see it as courage. And you can see when you reflect back, when you get to my age in your 50s, you can reflect back and see recurring patterns, and some of them you don't like and some of them you do like.
And what did you love that you want to share and celebrate?
I love that I'm so courageous. I think it's so far, touch wood, it's been in my favor. There's been a couple of times, obviously, the bad marriages that I didn't. But looking back, I think having some courage has led me down some wonderful paths of exploration and discovery on this planet and engaging with other human beings, which is phenomenal.
Interesting. Andrea, listen to Amanda's story so far. What is showing up for you right now?
Wow. Amanda, I think you are so brave, really brave. Like, wow.
Thank you.
Again, I feel like I'm just saying frugal stuff. So, okay. I think one of my biggest achievements was to start this business because I was just thinking about it like for like 2 years, and my husband was always saying, just do it. You are good in this. You just doing for free. Like just try, see how it goes. And when I finally did it, I just said, okay. It was not easy because I had to overcome my perfectionism. I'm like in the perfect, so it's not at all easy. And the fear of what other people would think, my friends and my family. And I've just found out that my friends and my family are really supportive, are more supportive than what I would ever expect. And now I have this community of cheerleaders that are helping me in this journey, because having a 9 to 5, starting this thing that brings me so much joy, this like really brings me so much joy, and having a family and everything else, it's not easy to balance it all, and everybody is so understanding and just so supportive. So I think this really helped me overcome my fears. That's it. I think it's like that. Like now I know I'm just capable of doing almost everything. I'm capable of doing everything. So yeah, that was really powerful for me.
Congratulations. Let's all give Andrea congratulations. Oh my God, that is awesome. That is awesome. We all want to try those things and find people that support us. And that's one of the big thing about being an entrepreneur too, is that supportive community of people that just cheer you on. You know, sometimes you have people that criticize you and just kind of want to kill your dreams. And you have those are going to cheer you on. I look for people that's going to cheer me on, really. And when you say you have your family to do that, that's definitely something to celebrate.
Yeah, because for instance, my mom is she hadn't a really traditional job, as we were talking first with Lav. So I was afraid that she wouldn't understand that like I'm doing just this thing in the side. And when she find out, because my brother like just told her, I haven't told her anything, and he showed my Instagram page and everything, and she called me and said, "Huh, why haven't you just told me?" I was after going to university, getting a degree, I was not sure. She said, "No, as long as you are happy and I see you like it and you are good with it, just do it." Okay. Yeah, it was a really cool moment, but yeah.
That's
What's on
sweet.
your
So
mind, man? I'm sorry, Lav, go ahead.
we should thank your brother for ripping off the band-aid, right?
Yes, yes.
Tell the news to your mom.
He's big mouth. He's big mouth.
It's good to have big mom brothers. Know your mom, know
Yeah,
she's proud of you and I'm
yeah,
excited for
yeah,
you.
yeah. And he told me, I'm really proud. He's like 20 years old, living his life in his like really, really young life. And he said he told me that he was really proud because I was putting myself out there because he knows me and also my mom knows me. Being the perfectionist that I am, being an entrepreneurship, it's like just you just can't have this two energy mixing together because it's a disaster. It's a disaster. And yeah, I see how far I've come now, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us, Andrea. Asher, would you wanted to ask something? If not, I'll go ahead and ask Amanda.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so Amanda, it so happens that after you had your victories, you walked out, right, of a unhealthy relationship. That's when you thought about helping other women overcome these situations?
No, it wasn't immediately. No, I I felt my career changed at the same time as well because I couldn't work full time. So it was a big change for me. I was quite I am quite career driven, and I managed to make myself all the way into a corporate executive. But it was so it wasn't immediate. No, I went back down to part time. I took care of my daughters, and it wasn't until probably 2018 when I had a big jump in my career that I felt that I had the exposure to help other people. And it's just through conversations with people as well. You have conversations with people along the way, and I believe in the power of conversations. I really do. How much you can achieve in a conversation, it can change your course of direction entirely. And I was in a position in my work where I was having conversations with people, and it just reiterated some things inside of me that I thought, oh yes, okay, this is something I could do. This resonates. This is something I enjoy. So it was about 2018 when I embarked on a very deep reflection inward of myself. So it's never, well, perhaps some people have divine intervention. I did not. It was more a slow trickle, sorry, like a drop, and which has compounded over time, and it's still not stopping. So it's for me, it's a wonderful journey that I'm on at the moment that is filled with, talking with Andrea, listening to Andrea, of the realization that her family fully has her back is such a wonderful feeling to have in your life. And although I don't actually have that because my initial problem is I'm an orphan, so that's where my initial trauma came from. I have the support and love of my family that I've created, and that is just phenomenal that you can have in life. And that compounding effect of love just continues to propel you in a certain direction.
Yeah, that's true. The support, the appreciation, admiration, they do a lot. in
Yes.
helping you achieving your dreams.
They
Because
really do.
sometimes along the way you might lose hope in yourself or the dream, but then the family is there cheering for you, and it's almost like, okay, you won't stop because they believe in you. You start believing again in yourself. So beautiful.
Like Andrea knows, when you become an entrepreneur, and yourself as well, Asha, you're faced with learning so many things. You know, when you're in the corporate world, you can do your job phenomenally well, but you've got a team of accountants and marketers and all sorts behind you doing that part of the job. And when you're an entrepreneur, you have to do it all. And that's the challenging part, because it's not about what you actually do that you're good at, it's everything else as well.
Yes. And your clients are like from all over the world?
For me, myself, they are mainly UK, Ireland. Yeah, UK and Ireland, maybe, and Luxembourg here. Yeah.
Sorry, Amanda, I have a question. How do they approach to you? Because I imagine, I don't know, you are going to explain it. If someone is in a unhealthy relationship, how do they just get to that realization? So how do they search for help? Yeah.
For me, it was because my boundaries were forever being compromised. There was gaslighting involved, and the final crux of it was that I was asked not to speak about my cancer at all. And I said, that's impossible. It's a big part of my life at the moment. I can't not talk about it. And he said I was being selfish to talk about it. So that's why I made the decision to leave. So there has to be something in your relationship that you say, this goes too far. This compromise is too far for me. And that compromise is going to be different for everybody, because everybody's personal values are different. So wherever your personal values lie, and then somebody compromises, then you're going to, and quite often, I suppose that's where the saying comes from, the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's because it's just that one little thing that's just a little bit too much on top of everything else. It's like, no, I'm done. That's it.
I love when you tie into the value piece, by the way, Amanda, because oftentimes when we go through stuff, we don't realize we always battling over values. And it seems like the conversation on cancer was something that you value talking about. That's something that really stood up front for you, like the lead domino. If that thing is not going to work out, then everything is going to fall in place, whatever. And so like that was something that unnegotiable, like non-negotiable. And you got to just step into that one and own it.
Exactly. I think that I think your personal values do evolve over time as you evolve as well, from a teenager through young, university years, perhaps getting your first home, having children, career change, whatever. So your personal values do evolve over time. Nevertheless, they are pretty stable-ish. And the sooner you know your personal values, actually, and you start to live by them, the less bumpy and quicker you can reach your destination, your journey. It's because if you don't live by your personal values, you will willingly enter yourself into a situation that you're going to be compromised on, and it's not going to sit good in you. It's going to feel a little bit awkward. And then you're going to sort of berate yourself for going into it in the first place when you knew better anyway. So just understand your personal values, live by them, and go in a direction that's going to be more fulfilling and get you to a brighter place quicker, a more fulfilling, more aligned place quicker.
And I know that cancer was a conversation, but in that cancer conversation, what was that value that you was like, I'm not negotiating on that value? What was that one for you?
Well, him asking me not to talk about it when I was so frightened was...
Oh, freedom to speak.
Yeah. So I can quickly tell. I do advertise my values anyway. So my very first one is courage. My second one is fairness. My third one is freedom. My fourth is honesty, and my fifth is discovery. So being told I couldn't talk about something, as you said, freedom to speak, was breaking my values. And it wasn't fair either. that
No.
to ask your partner not to talk about something that's clearly, it's a big thing.
Is this one of the first steps that you help your clients do? Identify their values?
Yeah, I have an intake form that it's quite long. One of them being what was a period of your life where you were rocking it, where it was going so great, and explain the feelings, what were you doing, who were you with, etc. And there's some other parts on the form as well of what are you struggling with and where would you like to be, etc. And then the core values. And what you can do is you can cross-reference them and you can see the reasons why something was difficult for you is because it breached 2 or 3 of your core values, which and that's unique for you. It's just for you. So we can cross-reference them and then we can start to unpick things and then we can work from there.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I'm glad that you shared about your intake form because you practically help them extract the values from that, from those happy moments. Because then when you're not aligned with your values, you're not happy. Because it's really challenging, right?
It is.
How about you, Andrea? Do you know what are your values?
I was just thinking about it. I think I know them, but I think, okay, freedom. Can family be a value, please? Because
Yeah, you can have your family, you can have your health.
Yes, freedom, my family, my health, and I think resilience. It's another one because I think I think resilience is another one.
Mhm.
But
Beautiful.
it's something I really thanks Amanda for this because I think I'm going to journal about maybe my next journal entry. I really have to go down with it. Yeah.
It can really help you and it can help you make decisions as well. I know people that have said, I know somebody that said she wasn't going to go on holiday with her husband and her son because it was to a country that didn't align with her values and she knew it would be difficult for her. So she didn't go.
Yeah, I think that's a really great, how you say, I really like when people give boundaries, have boundaries and give boundaries because it's like, I think it's a sign of what you know what you want and what you don't want. And I really respect that. And I think that's giving boundaries. And do I give boundaries? Yeah. I'm more comfortable hearing no than saying no. I'm just learning to be because my time is becoming really precious, so I have to just invest in in what really is important for me. So that's why I think it's thanks for this because I'm going to journal. My next journal entry will be about this because I think will help me know exactly where I should put my energy on and what I should just say no to easily.
Yeah, and that's so true. Your energy is so important. So important. We have such limited time here. And if you're working 9 to 5, you have 14 hours a week that's free, and you go and put your energy into something negative and doesn't align with you, it's just going to make it so much more complicated. And just to go back on something you said on boundaries, you don't have to say no. You can say, for right now, for me, this isn't okay. Right now, for me, I don't have the capacity. Right now, for me, I would prefer something else. You don't have to say no. You could say, there's a variety of different things you can say that means the same, but you don't have to say no.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Like right now I
that's
have other
another great
priorities.
tip. Yeah, that's another great tip. Yeah. I really agree with you. I think energy is like it's as you say, I'm working 9 to 5 and I really have to be intentional. And the other thing that you said that I really resonate with, when you are in something that doesn't align with you, you just feel it, you know it. It's just something that's like, I'm doing this, but I'm just not. Yeah,
Just
you
not
feel it.
feeling it.
Yeah. It's not feeling
Yeah.
it. Yes.
But and
But
then that's the battle between your head and your heart, because quite often society says, well, that's okay, you should
Yeah.
be fine in this situation, and then you're in that situation, you go, actually no, I'm not, but I should be okay, but I'm not. Why am I not? What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you, just society's put us down this road and says that certain things should be acceptable, and when you're in it, you don't feel it, you should listen to it. It's speaking for a reason.
But I like also what Andrea said about it's harder to say no, but it's easier to take a no. And I think this is related to our childhood, right? Growing up, right? We heard no from our parents many times,
Yeah.
but were we okay to say no back to our parents? We probably started saying that when we were teenagers. And that
Indeed.
was a big problem, right?
Yeah. That's why I say there's other words you can say, and at the moment, it's not possible at the moment. Would you mind if we come back to this conversation? Or you could say this conversation isn't going very well at the moment. Can I come back in half an hour? Or you can just say, if it's really not a nice conversation, you can say, I am leaving this conversation right now, and I will come back in half an hour. And I hope you've calmed down. If you haven't, I'll leave for
Wow.
another half an hour.
Yeah. That's really powerful.
Amanda, you sound like you're a walkaway artist, man. You gotta teach us some of that skill.
Would you like a live coaching session?
We probably doing one right now.
We're talking about the mechanics. We're not going deep.
I like going deep, by the way. So if we gotta go back into your story a bit, dear Amanda, and just tell us like what was that thing, like go back to the childhood start of your life, like the journey that you was on that got you to that point where you was in that relationship, and then the courage you had to take to get out of it. So we can kind of celebrate that past version of Amanda a little bit more.
I was very fortunate. My parents were beautiful and loving, and I had a wonderful childhood up until them dying, which was in my late teenage years. And I suppose I carried that love with me, but it was masked with grief. And being a young teenager and growing up in the north of England, it's just something you got on with in the 80s. And I just fell from that into my very first physically bad relationship, first marriage. And I didn't know what was going on. I honestly didn't. And I've reflected back, I've written blogs and stories. And I honestly allowed him to take control of me, because I was in so much grief and I didn't know where my voice was at all. So I allowed that to happen, and I left that marriage, and I literally jumped out of the frying pan into the fire to my second marriage. And it was only when I got the cancer that I did some work that I started to realize this isn't right. And it's strange, when you reflect on those conversations. When I was in the conversation, I can remember thinking to myself, there's got to be more than this. There's got to be more than this. Is there more? Where is the more? And it's only, you have to be in it to understand it. And reflecting back, I now have a bit more, they say, what is it? It's the word, the phrase, I can't think of it off the top of my head, when you reflect back, things become so much clearer.
And it sounds like you've been doing a lot of reflecting, and I'm curious to what have you discovered, right? What have you discovered after reflecting on that journey, and that you was carrying that was so heavy that it was probably making you sick? What was that?
Yeah, I realized that I was compromising myself far too much. I realized that my life was not my own, that I was a puppet on a string, and I couldn't. As good as I was in my career, my personal life was an absolute disaster. And it was about time that my personal life was as good as my career.
How hard is it to build yourself from from zero, right? You had to build yourself up. You said you were a puppet on a string, so probably didn't take too many decisions. Probably you didn't know much what you like and what you want. How hard is it to build yourself up again?
It's
Did
very
you had
hard. Yeah,
you had
yeah. I did take help in the end. I did a lot of inner work and reflection, and sitting with my emotions as well. So the anxiety, to analyze it, actually, where does the feeling come from? Is it in the pit of your stomach? Is it in your chest? You know, is it in your throat? Where do you feel it? What brings it up? Is it real, or is it just a thought? Is it just a silly, you know, when you have anxiety, you extrapolate conversations and make them bigger, and they're probably not going to, they're probably never going to happen. They didn't happen the way you thought they happened. That they trying to put things into context, and also, is it real, or is it just your mind wandering down a dark path? So think about it. Where does it resonate with you? Where does it come from? And yeah, it's a lot of inner work to do that, and it takes time as well. And there's a lot of tears along the way, because to recover from it, or to be at peace with it, to put it that way, you have to lean into the emotion and feel the emotion, and truly feel it, and feel where it comes from, and try and go back to a time. So there's a lot of, it takes a lot of time, and it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of tears. But you can, I truly wanted to heal myself. I truly wanted to be here for my grandchildren, fully. I have two little at the moment, two grandsons, and to be fully present for all four. I have four children, to be here for all of them. And I wanted that very desperately. And I didn't want to be the moody mum, the mum that's short-tempered, or the mum that's a little bit selfish. I wanted to be more. So I had to remove all of that negativity.
Amanda,
Beautiful.
you are so inspiring. So inspiring.
That's on my website.
Yeah.
Those
No,
exact words, huh?
yeah,
Those
yeah.
exact words, yeah.
Amanda, my question is, how do you move on to a healthy relationship, or are those experiences traumatize you, and do you have like triggers? And I'm not necessarily talking about you, but your clients, right? When they do the healing, they think they're okay, now they're in a new relationship, hopefully a healthy one. Are there triggers that happen that are, you know, based on the past experience and not necessarily anchored in the current reality?
Yeah, you have to, I encourage you, number one, take a year out. And number two, when you do meet somebody, don't do anything for a year. See them in all their seasons. When I went back on the dating scene, I made some more mistakes, but nothing as catastrophic as before. But then when I started to get more serious, a lot of people didn't like what I did. And I built a checklist. And everybody said to me, honestly, Amanda, that your checklist is far too long. And I was like, no, I'm sorry, but I've got some really great qualities, and nobody's going to bring them down anymore. They've got to be X, Y, and Z, and all of the rest. And yeah, I found somebody that is like that, and it took some time, but I stuck to my guns, and I said, no, I'm not reducing my standards and my desires for anything. And so yeah, take a year out, take a year to date them, and have a big checklist.
Don't compromise. I love that. I love
three
that.
little nuggets. That was it for me.
The checklist is very important.
Yeah, it was. I wanted somebody that was at a similar stage in life as myself. I wanted somebody who was at a similar career level as myself. I wanted somebody that had children a similar age, or, you know, there's obviously twos and fro's. I wanted somebody who was kind. I wanted somebody who was, I'm not going to give all the checklists away. They're very personal, but build it up of what makes you tick. And you can find that out quite easily, actually, what makes you tick. Join some conversations with some people you wouldn't maybe engage with. And you can do that on Facebook. Find some groups that maybe not your group. Engage in conversations and see if the conversation gives you energy or doesn't. And you can quickly find out the type of people that you can and can't engage with. Not just. Observe your energy levels in conversations with people, and do they give you energy or do they suck your energy?
That's a good advice. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, I totally
Asher,
agree.
you're doing your checklist in your head?
I'm
He's
doing
writing it
I'm
down,
doing
actually.
my Jack list. I'm just kidding. No. I was missing Andrea's last name. But we all got our checklists. Some of us do. Some of us have a very small list, but Amanda has a very long list. And I'm sure she'll be checking out from bottom to top to bottom where she's gonna approach the list from. But yeah, congratulations on all of those success, my friend, in filling your checklist and having somebody that meets those criteria. Because we all need criteria when we filter people out of our life, filter people in our life. And sometimes a lot of us don't have a criteria or a success criteria. We just kind of jump in and then find out, oh my God, this person needs an energy thief. I gotta get out of here.
This is it. It's the energy. Yeah. Do they feed you or do they suck off you?
Yeah.
If they're taking all your energy away, then
I call them vampires. Like there's this little vampire
Yeah.
that's sucking your energy. Yeah. Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
So let me ask you, Andrea, what's your favorite place to live so far?
Oh, that's a really difficult question. So, growing up in Mozambique, I actually have like all my I have all of my memories, like first memories there, and going to school and being with my grandma. And I think that's like something I will always just go back to, like, with my heart. I loved living in Rome because Rome is beautiful, but I also like living in Milan because it's like it was here where I met my husband, the one with I had a not it was
You got a
not that
checklist,
long.
right?
My checklist was not that long, I admit, but I think I was fortunate because sometimes you have to be fortunate too. So we are still together after almost 11 years, so something worked.
Celebrated.
Congratulations.
Something worked. And so it's really difficult because you see, in my head, all of these places have something connected with family, with friends, with the relationships I build. So it's really difficult. I don't know. Maybe it's the next place where I'm going to live.
That's a good answer.
Do you know where you would like it to be?
Yes, I definitely know. I would love to move to Costa Rica. I just felt completely okay. My husband said that in every travel we made, I'm just like, we just have to move here. But but with Costa Rica, it's like, yeah, I was planning to buy some land, build a house, have a studio. Like I was just, yeah, Costa Rica, definitely. I would move to Costa Rica.
Is your significant other on board with the idea?
Yes, he is. Oh, he must be. I'm like he's a little bit of a travel princess. Like I do everything, all the planning, and he like, tomorrow at what time do we have to be in the airport? Like, or what do I have to put on? Like, what do I have to pack? Because the weather, yeah, he's like a travel princess, and that's why I think it works. Like I do all the planning, all the and he's like just really happy, brings his energy, and he's really good at making photos, like photography. He really enjoys it. So as long as it's a place with he says animals, maybe a real cool beach, or we can do some trekking. He's happy. He's happy.
I mean, that checklist is checked off.
Yeah. Definitely.
Perfect.
Definitely.
So when are you guys moving?
I think like maybe we're going to wait like more 10 years and just do that. Yeah, 10 years is really a reasonable time. And then enjoy Costa Rica for the rest of our lives. Yeah.
Until you find a new place, like, oh, you want to move back to Africa.
You know, my husband, the first time I present him to the rest of the family that lives in Mozambique, and he was like, let's just buy land here and stay. And I was like, what? Are you serious? You have to buy land in Costa Rica. Oh, yeah. So we'll see in 10 years from now where we'll be.
How about you, Amanda? What's your least favorite place to live?
Least favorite. I would say probably my hometown, where I come from.
Why? Because you lost your parents there or something?
No, well, my mum died of cancer, and I come from the north of England, and it's a town that it's just so chemical, with chemical factories along the River Mersey, and it's not very healthy. I would say where I am now in Luxembourg, I'm surrounded by forest all the way around my house. I feel like Little Red Riding Hood, so it's great.
Hometown.
You've driven through Luxembourg. You know how green it is. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful there. No, you mentioned something that I didn't think about just now. You say you lost your parents early and you was living in a location that had a lot of chemical stuff. Think that was part of the cause?
I do.
Wow.
And you think maybe that was the cause of your challenge?
No, I think that I got my cancer because of my relationship. I think my anxiety levels were through the roof, and my body it's just said enough's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you to walk away. Oh my God.
Like it was like your body said first, like enough is enough.
Yeah.
And then just your mind just catch up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ladies, this has been an incredible conversation. Getting to know all both of you, and I hope we can really connect a lot more in the future. And I love your story, Amanda. Very, very courageous. And courage is on my list too, by the way. Courage is a very, very strong word. People gotta like go through it because I say confidence is what you feel, but courage is what you do.
Yeah.
And you gotta be ready to go do it. And you like, yeah, I'm doing this thing. I'm walking away, walking away.
Yeah.
So if somebody hear your conversation right now, Amanda, I'm like, oh my God, that sounds so powerful. I would love to work with you. How can I work with you?
So you can find me on Instagram. My handle is Life in My Colors with a U. I'm British, so COLOURS. You can also find me on Facebook. Amanda's Beyond Coaching is my business page, and you can join. I have a Facebook group which is called Inspiringly Courageous Conversations.
Wow.
Because I do believe in conversations being inspiring and courageous, and you can achieve great things.
Thank you. Andrea?
So you can find me on, I'm just jumping in, yeah.
Jump on in.
Please.
You can find me on Facebook and on Instagram at map_wonders. And yeah, just let's chat, talk about, all I do is like talk about travel. So yeah.
Yeah. And your name is, I've never seen a name spelled like yours before, by the way. Never.
Portuguese.
Oh, if I gotta go to Portugal to see that kind of spelling, is that what you're saying?
Yes, you have to.
And she'll help you plan your travel.
Yes, I will. Lisbon, Porto, Algarve. Just tell me where you want to go, how many days, and yeah.
Work it out. What was your biggest takeaway from this conversation, Andre?
Courage. I think it's like what you say, like Amanda is like really inspiring, and it's like the thing you do when it's what you do when like fear. I think fear is like normal. What makes you different from everyone else is like the courage to just do that thing even when you're like really scared. And Amanda is like the living proof of that.
Mm.
Thank you. And you as well, Andrea. You went for your dreams and you're living it.
Yeah.
What was your biggest takeaway, Amanda?
I love the power of conversations, and you can bring, I mean, I don't know any three of you, I do now, a little bit. And you can bring people together and have great conversations and discover, which is another one of my core values. I think discovering other human beings that we share this planet with is always great.
Mm. You know what I just noticed? I just got the title of this episode right now. It's gonna call The Power of Conversation.
The power
With
of
Amanda
conversation.
and Andrea, yeah, because it's really powerful, actually. Yeah, awesome.
Cool.
Like, what is your biggest takeaway, Lab?
Go back and reevaluate values
Mm.
periodically because they
Yeah.
might change.
Yeah.
Amanda, what is that one thing or two thing when people do it drive you crazy? If you don't mind sharing.
On a personal level,
Yes. We only
people
do personal on here.
people that don't take accountability for their lives,
Oh.
and liars. Can't
You
stand
gonna fire those liars. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
Fire
I
those
mean,
liars.
yeah, we all make mistakes. Just own it.
Mhm.
Just own it.
What about you, Andrea?
Liars, I totally agree. And I really don't like arrogant people, like the ones that just don't respect your personal space, your boundaries, just all over the place. Yeah, that kind of energy just really makes me piss off. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I just don't, because I'm not like, I'm a kind person. I'm just like, everybody's having their days. We don't know what's happening. So when someone just like starts like chill,
Mm.
chill. This is so yeah.
I like that.
Thank you so much. I think we've gotten a lot to learn about you today from your story, from your sharing. It's very powerful. I want to just turn it over to Live. Any last word before we close on Live?
Thank you, ladies, for sharing your life stories. They're very inspiring, both of you. Both of you are living your dream and helping others become better and live their dreams. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having
Nice.
us, and it was a
Nice.
pleasure to meet you, all of you, and also you, Amanda. Really.
Also, you too, Andrea. Thank you. Thanks, Asha. Thanks, Nav.
Thank you.
All right, folks, you're tuned into the Pandora's Awareness podcast, a place where we collect stories and circulate life-changing wisdom. And today you get to investigate, you get to experience the wisdom from Andrea and Amanda and their story, their journey, what they specialize in, how they adding value to the world, and who they being a hero to. Hope they get to be a hero to one of you guys that are watching today. So with that, make it an awesome day.